Absorb some local color through the magic of AM radio.
Harkens me back to my youthful, careful days on the playgrounds of Forest Park School and my gifted days.
And you're gifted, all right. What were you gifted at?
Well, I guess I had some issues.
Detention?
There. Yeah. When my dad told me I wouldn't plan on going to Harvard anytime real soon.
You're going to have to get in touch with me. We're gonna link all the volunteers via satellite cell phone so that we can put out the message immediately, because you remember the problem we had in January. We had to have Governor Walker come in with the National Guard. It was horrible.
Steve, listen to me. Bring your own microphone because you lost this one.
Okay, Captain Ron, you've been doing this so well for the last few weeks. So go ahead and make my day.
Oh, great one with the magic pen.
Oh, boy, he wants that microphone forever, doesn't he? Now, you got to visualize this. We put a statue of Pete on this. Put him in wearing like a hard hat and flannel shirt, tool belt, snow shovel.
You mean like from the Village People?
Yeah, yeah, a couple.
Now wait a minute here.
Good morning, everybody. This is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the February 6th edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here at WLIP AM 1050 on your radio dial, streaming worldwide and booming across the thawing cornfields of the Midwest, reaching out to over 50,000 homes here in the Tri-County area. Being brought to you this morning by our major sponsor, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, and a host of other very fine local businesses. Rejoining us this morning in our Kenosha Today Trolley Barn, you cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain him, the newly appointed foreman for Kenosha Today's Team Snowplow. Little Stevie Casey the Big Dog is here with a snow shovel and a whole lot of snotty build-up attitude.
I am so excited to be here. I am bursting with enthusiasm.
Bring on the 2-inch blizzard, man.
Bring on the snow. I am ready.
Send in the plows.
Send in the plows, Mother Mary.
As always, with us on the A-Team this morning, our video coordinator, Channel 14's Trooper of the Year, Captain Ron, joins us here at Camp Happy Face. Ronnie!
Hey, eating donuts and loving it.
And
That's great.
Courtesy of Donut there.
Yeah, Steve says, here, we're concerned about Pete's health and work more now.
The donuts are on my side of the studio, and we're gonna ration them.
As Ron plops the bag of donuts next to me.
Yeah, there you go. Engineering the Kenosha Today trolley ride this morning, WLIP 6-time Employee of the Month, and the master of the Sunday morning replay, Pistol Pete, joins our encounter group this morning. Pete, we got that. Last Sunday we were Ron and I were at a post-production meeting, and all of a sudden I got a text from Dave McGrath. He says, I thought we were supposed to be playing at noon. And coincidentally, Pete was in the other room. And
that was a post-church production.
Yeah.
Production
Coincidentally, what do you think was playing in Mistake? Lip Up. I wonder how that happened.
Whoops.
How did your Saturday go last
Good.
week?
We had a lot of awareness, and I got to congratulate Dave McGrath and his son Max for coming in. And
it was very interesting.
They had their project in issue 13 years ago, and now Sam Conley and his parents are going through the exact same thing. And I learned a whole bunch of things about. Didn't we, Ron? About kidneys. I didn't know that you'd end up with a third kidney.
I didn't know that either. Yeah, very knowledgeable, very interesting. Not bad coming out of a show like this.
We're going to end that pretty quick.
We're going to end that pretty quick.
All our listeners can clearly tell, this. There are absolutely no idiots here on this program.
No idiots.
That title's obviously been earned by a couple of our beloved aldermen. Somebody called they referred to them as the Kenosha Silly Council. And
unbelievable.
And here's
I've never. I didn't. Did you see the meeting or no?
I saw part of it. I didn't see the main event, so to speak. However, we captured this one moment on our Kenosha Today Camp. Pete, this is what happened between Bostrom and Kennedy.
I gotta tell you.
Not really.
22 years on the city council. I've never ever I've never heard any alderman call another alderman an idiot in open session.
A couple open session.
Well, I've been called a lot worse behind closed doors, but never at a council meeting. Where in the world, for heaven's sakes, is the decorum? Aren't these supposed to be city fathers?
Well, that's I'm thinking. The alderman from the 12th district, but correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he supposed to be some kind of a professional real estate type person? I mean, what the hell am I missing here?
Well, you're missing something.
Well, I mean, couple weeks ago you referred to me an idiot, but that's because I am.
Well, right.
Okay, so there was no question.
And you weren't offended by it.
Oh, no.
Anthony Kennedy is far from an idiot. He's a chicken sandwich thief. But he's not an idiot.
Let's not stir the pot. He's not chicken sandwich.
Yeah, we got lots to talk about today, Mr. Barter.
Coming up right after our first break at 10:30, Kenosha's fastest growing game show sensation, the lightning round of City and Jeopardy, the trivia game sponsored by the House of Gerhard restaurant. And then after the 11 o'clock break, this week's top 10 category, written in our home office on the deck at the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, this week's thought-provoking category, top 10 highlights from Groundhog's Day here in Kenosha. That was Tuesday. So how did you celebrate Groundhog's Day?
What did we do?
Ate a groundhog, a couple of them.
Well, now the groundhog did not see its shadow, so that means an early spring.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah,
That's related into
Well, they played nonstop, 24 hours in a row, the movie with Bill Murray, Groundhog. I love that movie. It's a good movie.
Oh, thank you, Stevie.
That's I kind of feel like I'm in the movie Groundhog every Saturday morning here. It's the same old thing.
Yeah, digging our way out of a tunnel. Yeah. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Good morning, folks. This is Kurt Wicklund, Alderman of the 8th District. How's everyone?
Oh, very good. Thank you for asking.
Happy Groundhog Day, Kurt. You look like you've lost a few pounds.
Yes.
Well, I hope to continue that process. That's why I'm actually calling early. I hope you guys don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Got to free up as much time today to do as many doors as possible because it's definitely that time of year. And I was looking at some photos from about 2 years ago, and boy, the weather's much nicer this year. I'll take that.
So when are you going to wear that snappy white piece three-piece suit? That white
three-piece
suit?
I almost put that on the other day, but I was running late, so I didn't have time to get quite duded up.
Kurt, we're going to be addressing the issue of your meeting. Let me ask you this. What went wrong?
Well, what went wrong is we fell prey to the lure of everyone means well, and to try to be seen being responding to the complaints of the snowfall, which the response was bad. It was a chain of events that's going to happen every now and then, but any policy is subjected to that sort of thing, where you get a bad forecast and your number one most experienced person making judgment calls is away, and you got a holiday time. It was just a really concentrated series of events that led to a particularly poor service in the snowplowing department.
Not in all places, just in a couple.
Well, sure, and things, Kurt, Alderman Wicklund, things like that happen. I mean, the city's not perfect, but you don't change an entire policy to fix this one incident.
Right. So what you see here is the difference between being reactive and proactive. And I've been constantly trying to. When I was elected, there's a lot of appetite for proaction. Let's think ahead, let's plan ahead, and if you ever need to know why it's a better system, just watch that meeting Thursday night, because it was like, here's a simple change, 2 inches, and all our problems are solved. Well, we got to hear from, then you throw in the overtime thing, which just totally complicated the situation. And I'll take responsibility for that, because it could have occurred to me during that meeting to say, please, let's strip this provision out, and we all will swear to the cameras that next week we're going to introduce a separate resolution and we'll debate it on its own. But that didn't cross my mind during the 90 minutes. But I'll take responsibility for not thinking about it, just like no one else did. But that just shows you why politics as usual ends up with bad sausage making, and why people are tired of politics as usual, because you get this bad outcome. And all he had to do was, I would like to start and give the listeners just a little bit of context here.
Hey, one of the questions, and then I'll let you go, and then Stevie's chomping at the bit here. Am I to understand that a 2-inch snowfall now constitutes a snow emergency?
I don't know if that raises to a legal certainty, but what people should be concerned about is the sponsor of this resolution said that was his intent to create such a policy.
And you asked him that question specifically, whether it was his intention to take the snow emergency from whatever it is now down to 2 inches. So every time it snowed 2 inches, it's a snow emergency, which, by the way, means nobody can park on city streets.
Right. That's the main half.
And what was his answer? Kurt, what was his answer?
His answer was yes.
Yeah, so that was his intention. So unless this change accomplishes that, he's going to keep at it. Which means people getting tickets every snow emergency.
If you don't like that policy, make sure you speak up and let people know, so that if there is any future attempt to go to that policy, if we're not there now legally, make sure that we either move back from that legally or don't get there legally. But the red flag is there. That's the intent before us, and that's something we should be very concerned, because it is a royal inconvenience to find parking when you live in the area where I do.
Kurt,
I had a situation where I was taking care of my mom's car and some furniture, so I couldn't use my garage.
Kurt, can this be repealed? I mean, you can enact it in ordinance.
Repealed.
Okay.
But I would like to give some context to listeners so they understand the process. And I know this is boring, but it's not.
Well, make it kind of snappy, because we got lots to talk about.
Listen,
give me the short version.
Every alderman goes to the mayor and the city administrator during the summer, or they should. Every alderman should, and says, "These are what I think I need for my district. These are what I think we need for the city, and please do what you can to address these needs." But you're also telling the mayor what policies you are happy to support, right? They spend several months taking that input from all the department heads, and they come up with a proposed budget. And that takes a couple months to do that. And then asking all these questions in the meantime and sorting these things out, and not calling up the department heads live during a meeting. Plenty of time to think this out. Then they put a proposed budget before the city council, and we have a full month to look at it and do nothing but look at it and ask questions and study it. Then it goes to another month-long review through all the committees, parks, public safety and welfare, et cetera. They look at their area of expertise. When public safety and welfare reviewed the request for new police officers, maybe should we buy some SUVs? Are you getting enough bulletproof vests, et cetera? Input from there then goes, all the various small specialized committees have their say. Then the whole Megillah goes to finance, and that's the last step. And finance is about all the money, and everything takes money. So they have the final review before it goes back to the city council / council of the whole, which is the final, and that is generally a ceremonial step, because at this point all the questions should be answered, and then you approve it, or if you feel that it's a bad budget, you vote against it.
Kurt, I'm going to have you speed this up a bit, because we got...
Then I'm done.
Okay. You're done. Okay. All right, one last question, and we'll see if Stevie's got...
Well, the significance is...
Okay, what are we going to do now?
If you don't go through that process, you end up with these arguments.
So what are we going to do at this point in time? We don't have money to pay for this.
Well, that's the thing. One of the aldermen said, "Oh, it's no big deal. It's $5 per taxpayer, and everyone will be happy to pay that." That's not the point. The point is, we now have $208,000 less to hire another city engineer or cops. And what I want to do is get roads improved. I want to get alleys improved. And what we have is we can put more money into it, but we have a bottleneck in engineering time.
Yeah.
Okay, and we need to hire another engineer. And now, I don't think we might not be able to, because of this on-the-fly decision. So that's why it's got to go through the comprehensive review process. And my next step is, I've announced it at my monthly meetings. I announced it at my political rally that I'm going to introduce a policy on streets after our mid-February primary, and that will give you guys listening to this, voters in Kenosha, 5 weeks or so, 4 or 5 weeks, plenty of time to see if you like Wickland's idea. Okay.
I got to let Stevie ask you one more question, and then we got to move on. Sorry.
I'm done. But that was my next.
All right. He's got one more question.
I'm okay, Kurt. I'm going to offer my own opinion here in a short while. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Kurt, thank you very much.
For taking my time. I just want to make sure that people understand what the vetting process is and why it's a good thing to use it.
Well, you enlightened us tremendously. Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Kurt. Yep, we probably have to get some sponsors, but then we'll expound a little bit on that issue, and I'll give you my take on things as well. So
big thank you to the boathouse.
Like us,
and probably the only ones that do or does.
Why?
And then you can watch the replay of this finely tuned, professionally produced Excuse for Radio show on Time Warner Cable's Channel 14, Tuesdays at 5, Wednesdays at 6 p.m., and Sundays.
The media's making a monster out of you because they don't care about the truth. All they care about is entertainment. Well, you need a forum where they don't even know the meaning of the word entertainment. Public access television.
Davey.
There we go.
You want to take this call first?
6 on Sunday.
Let's take this
Sure,
call.
if we'd like, sure.
Yeah. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Shirley. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Well, here's the deal, Shirley. Now that we have to start plowing snow at 2 inches, we are now forming, and Stevie's the chairman here, Kenosha Today's Team Snowplow, because we're going to need twice as many people, right?
Yeah, you'd be willing to help out, Shirley, wouldn't you?
Oh, sure.
Okay, now because we got to be able to make sure you get to your garage to find your pot.
I gotta get to my garage.
Got to get to your pot.
Now,
I know.
not only do we have the 17th district at 4 inches, now we have 17 districts at 2 inches. Our workload is going to be overwhelming, so we're counting on you. Do you have a shovel?
Yeah, I sure do.
Oh, she's got a shovel.
I can shovel it with the best of them.
Hey, real quick, just off the subject a little bit. Who do you like for the Super Bowl tomorrow?
Broncos.
There you go. Peyton Manning, go all the way.
Right.
Beautiful.
Oh, I hope the heck they win.
Yeah.
And by the way, next week is Valentine's week, so we will be dealing with love and affection next week.
Oh boy,
It's not going to be this week.
Do I have to walk off the show that time too?
Glad you're back, Steve.
Thank you.
All right.
Can I
Shirley.
just say one thing?
Sure.
Bill Lawrence, get better. He's been under the weather.
Under the weather is.
Yes. He's
Yeah,
had
he's
some
got to
Absolutely.
Yeah.
medical issues.
Our
so-
thoughts and prayers are with them.
There's only one guy that I know that really wants him to get better, and that's Pete. Because Pete's got to do
right.
double duty.
Thoughts and prayers, Bill. Thoughts and prayers.
get
Hurry
better,
back.
Bill. And his birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Bill.
All right, Shirley.
Bye.
All right, go ahead, Stevie.
Well, I'm going to walk you through a scenario yesterday.
Okay.
I didn't realize the snow was coming, and I snowplow and snowblow probably 5 or 6 different parcels on my end of the block. My mother lives next door to me. I've got an elderly lady lives on the other side. My mother-in-law lives 2 doors away from me. Pastor Cindy around the corner. Peter and Miriam Johnson. I got a big snowblower. When I go out, I snowblow. It takes me about an hour and 15 minutes in the morning, but I do the whole end of the block.
You wear
What's
one
the
of these
difference?
big snow.
Oh, I wear the big hat and everything. Oh,
I'd love to see that.
I look like Nanook of the North. So I didn't realize, and it caught me off guard. I woke up yesterday about 6 o'clock. I slept in, actually, and I looked out. I said, oh, my gosh, it snowed. But I had an early funeral in Racine, so I had to get to the funeral home, and I didn't have time to snowplow. But however, when I let my dog out the back door onto our deck, I took our cordless blower, the leaf blower, and I was blowing. It was about 2 inches of snow, but it was light and fluffy.
Right.
I was blowing the deck off, to make it clear so that when my wife walked out to the garage, she walked in a clear space. And I hear this rumbling coming down 22nd Avenue. And I'm literally blowing the snow with a blower, and I've got a snowplow driving down 22nd Avenue. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell's going on here? Okay? So it gets better. Keep the music playing. The story's only about halfway done. I come home at noon to snowplow, and all of the snow has melted. It's gone. So here we order a full plow run for 2 inches of snow, and the snow is gone by noon. Who's making the decisions down at City Hall, for heaven's sakes?
That's some pretty snappy music. Well, Ron was saying they went past 7th Avenue down here. He was twice at least. big chunks of brandly new laid asphalt chirping up here.
That's the other thing people don't understand is every time you send a plow down, that half-ton plow, scraping the pavement to get the streets clear, you do damage. You do damage to the streets. Now, I don't know what a normal snowplow run costs.
$30,000, according to Mayor Boswell.
The estimates that I was working under was about $30,000 to $35,000 5-6 years ago. My gosh, the snow was melted. You got plows all over the city. Who can't maneuver in 2 inches of snowfall in their car? Who can't get out of their driveway? It was a light, fluffy snow. I was clearing the back sidewalk with a leaf blower. And they send in a half-ton plow, down the road to clear the streets. I don't understand it. To the tune of $35,000. Here's a better idea. Now wait, now I gotta calm down.
Send in the plows. Send in the plows.
I gotta calm down. My wife told me that I sound a little
Don't
excited.
make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Get them all in the first half hour. That's what I say.
Am I missing something?
No, not at all.
Am I missing something?
We just kind of knew how this was going to play out today. So we were ready.
My wife said not to get too excited. My blood pressure goes up. It's not good for my health. But I just don't understand it. Now, the second take on this. 5 guys said no to this. Jack Rose, Bob Johnson, Keith Rosenberg, Kurt Wicklund, and Anthony Kennedy.
Right.
Those are the only guys that on this particular issue had any common sense at all. This was nothing more than a political stunt.
Well, let me ask you this: you took Gordon Brzezinski. Those two surprised me, and there was another one. I think Kurt Wilson voted against.
Well,
it.
Eric Hallgaard voted for it.
Well, I don't understand this. Why this is not a very well thought out plan in our view.
There's a process. Kurt Wicklund was absolutely right, Scott. There's a process. If you what you want to do is you want to have a process put in place, budgetary item, things like that. It should have came up at budget time
or sooner,
a scant month ago, but nobody mentioned it a month ago. Nobody mentioned it, nobody budgeted for it. I just don't understand why you abandon the process. Winter is almost over. Seat the new council in April. If they want to revisit the snow removal policy, do that prior to the budget, and then properly budget for it.
Which I got a feeling there's going to be some couple new city council members because of this. And there was some deal about a year ago that certain aldermen did not listen to those 6,000 people from Common Sense, and they're vowed to get their day at the ballot box one way or another. And it's going to come in the form of the mayoral election and maybe a couple of aldermanic seats.
People have said to me this week after that vote and the nonsense that went on Monday night, they said, Steve, are some of these guys going over to the dark side? Are some of these guys abandoning all that they've worked for 2 years and are now siding with the other side?
In hopes
and I got to tell you, that's a valid point. It's a valid point. And this is my take on that, but do we need to take a break or no?
Here, why don't you read this first, and then you can we'll take us into the break. But this is just, and then they got into the overtime, and to suggest that this is not going to cost any more. Well, $200,000 is significant. In addition, that we don't have. Where's this coming from?
Well, I don't understand.
You take the older neighborhoods, like where you live,
absolutely,
and down where the boathouse is, on a 4-inch, when it was declared 4 inches, these people had no place to park, so they would go and park in, like, say, the boathouse or any parking lot,
or a church parking lot, anywhere they could find,
which then prevents that business or that church from plowing their own.
Right.
Okay. So now at 2 inches, where's all these people going to go?
I've got a big driveway and a circle drive, and I've had neighborhood people say to me, look, during a snow emergency, can we park in your circle drive just for the snow emergency? And they're going to ticket. If you're parked on a street and it's a snow emergency, they're going to ticket you. It's going to cost you $35.
Lousy 2 inches.
Right. I don't understand it, but it gets better than that, okay?
We'll take our break.
Okay.
And by the way, we're going to be... we encourage all our callers coming in after the break. We got to play City in Jeopardy, 262-694-1050. We'll be taking the first call on that question. And then we are in the formations, because you are team captain here, Team Snowplow, because we are going to need a whole bunch more bodies.
Well, we'll continue to discuss the snow removal, but we need to do it in a calm manner.
Ron, we're going to need more foam, I think.
Okay. I'll get a couple cases.
Make the order, would you? We'll expense it to Scott.
And if you're a guy like Keith Rosenberg in the 9th, and he uses the dog urine, man, he's going to have to order that by 20-gallon vats.
He's going to need another dog park.
He's going to need another dog park.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, we'll be back tuned in. This is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the February 6th edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here at WLIP AM 1050 on your radio dial, bringing you idiot-free radio.
Idiot-free radio?
Yeah.
What a guarantee. Can we live up to it? That's the question.
Brought to you by our major sponsor, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, and a host of many other very fine local businesses. Joining us this morning, the new voice for Kenosha Today's Team Snowplow, little Stevie Casey's here.
Good morning, everyone, again.
Is there a threat of a 2-inch blizzard that's forecasted? Because we're going to start taking calls here, 262-694.
And I know we make light of this, but it just didn't make a lot of common sense to have a knee-jerk reaction to one bad snowstorm.
Well, you know what?
and done in the proper manner through the budgetary process. It's going to be the middle of February. How much more snow we're going to have this year? You seat the new council. You go through the budget process. Say it's going to cost X amount of dollars to drop it down to 2 inches, and you do it. There was no fiscal note on this. There was not even anybody who knew what it was going to end up costing.
I guess the new slogan is shovel early and shovel often. Just like what we do, shovel it here every Saturday morning.
Well, and what's really disappointing is some of the aldermen who supported this issue. You know, I could see the alderman of the 17th doing this because that's a stunt that he pulls. It gets him excited to see his picture on the front page of the paper, and that's why he does some things like he does. In my humble opinion, of course.
Glad you had that mid-show disclaimer.
Well, but some of these other guys, and first of all, wrapping the overtime issue into the changing the snow removal policy was completely unacceptable. They were two separate issues.
I'm going to give you just about 30 seconds to calm down because I got to... Also joining us here at Camp Happy Face, video coordinator Trooper Ron, and engineering us to all-time highs, WLP, fashion consultant to the stars, also the host of his own very fine radio scam, Lip Off.
Good morning,
He's not a scam. It's not a scam. You don't
No, we scam no one. Maybe of their time, but...
Are you wearing your hair a little different this weekend?
Not really. It's probably a little longer than it has been. For
Special
reasons.
thanks.
It's the kinder, gentler Stephen.
I'm letting it grow out. Thanks for asking.
Special thanks to my good friend Steve Schneider. You can find all the Kenosha Today shows 365 days a year, 24/7 up on YouTube. And now, boys and girls, it's time to play Kenosha's fastest growing game show sensation, the lightning round of City in Jeopardy, sponsored by the House of Gerhard Restaurant. Now I'm going to clear the phone lines. I'm going to read the question, which is a very sophisticated, intelligent, multiple choice question. And you will then get 3 somewhat intellectual answers to choose from. After that, you will hear the ding. And the first caller to correctly answer the question wins a $25 gift certificate to the House of Gerhard's Restaurant, located at 3927 75th Street here in Kenosha. Open daily, specializing in fine dining, serving authentic German cuisine, celebrating their 51st year at the same location. What better place to socialize and have a great lunch or dinner?
Oh, I socialize there.
Yeah, they're mighty proud of that. Call for a reservation at 262-694-5202, or I'm sorry, 5212, my fault, or find them on Facebook or at thehouseofgerhard.com. Okay, the phone lines are clear. Here's today's question. What is the highlight of Kenosha's new snow plowing policy? What is the highlight of Kenosha's new snow plowing policy? A, they start plowing on the last Sunday in June.
Well, you got a preemptive.
Well, that's just one choice.
Yeah,
okay,
that's right.
B, the city council obviously was plowed when they voted in this nonsense.
Yeah, I go along with that.
Or C, 2 words. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
What is the highlight? Kenosha's new snow plowing policy.
To the first caller.
262-694-1050.
$25 gift certificate at the House of Gerhard.
A, they start plowing on the last Sunday in June. The city council was obviously plowed when they voted this nonsense. Or C, 2 words. You're an idiot. First caller, Pete. Good morning, you're on Kenosha Today.
Oh, that would be Steve.
Oh, who's this?
This is Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Congratulations!
You win, a big winner here.
Right.
$25 gift certificate. You're an idiot.
Well, thanks. I'll be an idiot any day for $25. Then I'd feel like the 17th.
Oh. So this was a monetary thing for your reason to call this morning. Are you married?
Yes, I am.
So now your wife knows, because you called in your live radio, that she's free to call you an idiot anytime she wants.
Well, she does anyway.
And you don't get the 20, and you still don't get the $25, right?
And I still get it, right? There's other names too, but I can't say that on radio.
Please.
Well, $25 gift certificate at House of Gerhard's. That's
hey, before we're going to get your name and phone number off the air, but would you like to give us a comment on your thought of this deal?
Which deal?
Focus, Dan, on the 2-inch on this revised.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Man, I'm on a scooter and I can drive through 2 inches.
Exactly.
I got 4-inch tires and I can get through 2-inch. Why do you want to waste all that money?
I agree, Dan.
It, right.
I agree. Political stunt. That's all it was.
If they want to do something, get a nice big broom for the front end of that thing, right. And then broom the road clean.
Well, we're gonna list you on our team snowplow for future reference, because now we got to go the whole city. But Pete's gonna get your name, address, you have an email or whatever, and I'm gonna send you out this little certificate, and you can take it over to House of Gerhard's and pick up your certificate from them and make a reservation.
Oh, all right. I was just there last week. Looking forward to going next week.
Remember next week is Valentine's Day, so you and the missus probably want to get
I guess that's booking up pretty early. The reservations Friday and Saturdays are almost full already. So.
Oh, have to give them a call.
Yeah. Okay, Dan, thanks for playing.
Hey, hang on.
Yeah, he's going to get your...
Pete's going to get your information off the air. So.
And where the Sunnyside Club is, and have all of those...
No parking.
Where are they going to go?
They don't.
I mean, not only the Sunnyside, but you got
with a snow emergency
and everybody else.
Exactly. In the older neighborhoods where businesses don't have off-street parking, when there's a snow emergency, it virtually shuts down the business because nobody can park on the street.
That is,
and you're doing that for 2-inch snowfall, which I could have handled with a cordless blower. For heaven's sakes!
When you go out with the blower, do you still wear the Nanook from the north?
Yesterday morning, I was actually in my bathrobe.
Oh, my God.
Oh, geez. I come back to the conversation on that note.
Yeah, that's sweet.
PP, is that Pleasant Prairie?
Very good.
No, that's Ripon.
We got another caller, Pete.
Let's do it.
Good morning, you're on Kenosha Today.
Nope.
Oh, sure. Good morning, you're on Kenosha Today.
Good morning, guys. It's Cindy. How are you?
Very good, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
What's happening
Pretty
in your
good.
What's happening in your world?
Well, I just wondered if that policy was a county-wide thing.
No, thank God for you.
3 o'clock in the morning, we had a plow coming down our little 20-foot street.
You're kidding.
And you live in Bristol, right?
Salem.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Bristol does our mail.
That's right.
I'm not certain. This is only one crisis at a time, but that would be a county plow.
No, this was just and that's a good question. If there's a supervisor listening, maybe they'll call in. I wonder what the criteria is on the county side.
Oh,
I don't know.
Is it similar?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. The county does a wonderful job at removing snow.
We'll get to the bottom of this.
3 o'clock in the morning, I thought a train was coming by. The rumble.
Ooh.
Like you were talking about, Steve.
Yeah, you're right.
He was making his stuff up. So
3 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, Cindy, I got.
He's got a different rumble to worry about.
Cindy, real quick, I'm going to. The funeral home's going to be doing another pre-planning seminar. Come and join us for lunch again.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
put us down.
And by the way, Scott, did I tell you we have a date for our new Dine and Dash seminar?
We're planning it, and we'll be talking about it on the radio. But keep your I don't have a date yet, but it'll be sometime in the next month. So join us for lunch again. It'll be fun.
Put us in. All right, Cindy.
I would like to.
We'll get an answer.
I wish I could afford to take care of that. I really
don't worry about a thing.
Right. Boy, Stevie, the lines are. We'll get to the answer why the county was out there. All right. Thanks, Cindy. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
I am very disappointed.
In?
Especially towards the alderman in the 7th District. I thought he'd have more common sense than that.
7th District.
You mean the 17th?
No, the 7th, he said.
No, 7th.
Who's the 7th?
Oh, that would be Pat Giuliana.
He wasn't at the meeting.
I don't think he was at the meeting.
But...
Oh, he wasn't?
No, he was the only guy... He was the only guy wasn't there.
No, Pat's got a high level of common sense. Although he is cosmetically challenged.
Well, we'll get if Pat. If you're listening,
I guess I can say my doggone scathing remarks at this point in time.
Scathing.
That alderman from the 17th needs a high chair, the sippy cup, and a rattle.
Duly noted, George. Duly noted. Okay. All right, we got to move on.
Hey, he needs to grow up, then. Grow up there.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. Holy cow.
George, I think you're holding back. Tell us how you really feel. I got to take another call. Boy, a sippy cup and a rattle.
Wow.
That's pretty harsh stuff. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Yeah, this is Dale from Kenosha.
Dale, just the guy we're looking for.
We were just going to put out an SOS because we were afraid that you had injured yourself during the snow crisis yesterday.
Actually, I had to leave that cleanup to the wife because I had to get off to work.
Yeah, but what are we going to do now?
How can you maneuver your driveway with 2 inches of snow? How did you even
blew
get
off
out?
by noon?
I had to put everything. I had to put my vehicle in 4-wheel drive. I mean, it was just terrible.
Oh, you've got a monster truck too. I mean, you barely, you could probably barely maneuver Roosevelt Road over there.
Oh.
Hey, what time do you get your wife out there plowing away?
Well, I left for work early, so because I was afraid that if I didn't leave early, I might be late for work. So I had to leave. I start at 7. I work out of Milwaukee. So I had to leave at 5 to make sure I got there in time.
And that your wife got out, right?
Yeah.
Now, what you have to do is you at 5 in the morning, you can turn into the Kenosha Today weather report, and here's what you'll probably hear. And then,
have your canned foods ready, have your extra batteries, and crank up radio ready, and crank up flashlights ready, have your iPods, iPads charged and everything.
This is the
people in Wisconsin. Order your pizzas, order your Chinese food. Don't wait till last minute.
This is the official declaration from the city of Kenosha when we're going to get socked with 2 inches of snow.
Anyway, here, I want you guys to imagine one thing, okay? Now, let's say this particular person from the 17th was a professional wrestler. Now listen.
Okay.
And here's the announcer at the ringside saying, and from the 17th district, entering the ring, here's Snowflake.
Blowing his way into the ring.
Well,
his handler is hot air.
Alderman Dale, I got to tell you, I think that's going to stick. Alderman Snowflake.
Alderman Snowflake. You must have stayed up all night thinking of that.
Oh no, this was like a whole week of planning from Monday night on. It was just
Alderman Snowflake.
Dale, I got to tell you, I think you coined a phrase, Alderman Snowflake.
All right, we're with you, Dale.
All right.
All right.
You guys have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Now, one of the things that Dale and I are working on is a blizzard emergency kit that we're going to be passing out for people to keep in their cars.
Does it start with vodka?
There's a little vodka in it.
There'll be a lot of vodka. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Good morning, man.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait till we get a lake effect snow. And downtown we get about 4 or 5 inches, and Bagdala gets a ½ inch. Is he going to then go to the council and complain that they did downtown didn't do his place?
This is all inclusive. So 2 inches no matter where.
Okay, if that's the case, I'm signing up. I've got 2 shovels.
Okay, we got you.
we got you on the list.
Team Snowplow.
Team Snowplow. We got you on the list.
Yes, this may be some of the most absurd legislation I've seen out of the dysfunctional councils in the last 60 years. This even outdoes some of the stuff Casey tried to pull.
Thank you for adding that. We appreciate that. All right.
Touche.
All right, we got you on the list. All right. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Sign me up.
Oh, Paulie. Boy, the volunteer list is just getting longer. So we can put you down, and are you on standby 24 hours?
Oh, yes.
Hey, you know what? Since you're doing so well on Facebook, should we have a team? I know.
He posted my wife's salad recipe on our Facebook page.
On a funeral home?
Yeah. Well, he posts all kinds of neat
Oh,
little
boy,
things.
that just...
You know what? I saw it. That's why it made me
Paul,
laugh.
you're way overpaid if that's the case. Hey, but we got to have a Team Snowplow Facebook page. Why don't you... Team Snowplow, I'll let you handle it, and let's see within a week... Huh? Kenosha Today's Team Snowplow, and see how many likes you can get. I'm serious.
He's speechless.
Yeah.
I am.
Why did I call?
He's like, more work. Great.
Paul, you can do this. This is a no-brainer.
Oh, I know I can do it.
Well, we want you to. Yeah. Well, we're encouraging you. Here's what we'll do. In lieu of sending you out in the cold with a snow shovel, You're going to be our administrative person. Headquarters. And Steve's the snowplow captain. You be the snowplow administrator.
He was the brains behind the operation.
Yeah, I can't sit behind a
the brains behind
I can't sit behind a computer. I need to be out in the field.
Yeah, he's going to be on the field.
I'm going to be on the field.
So, Paulie,
he's a field general.
I want you to,
Absolutely.
seriously, I want you to, this afternoon over the weekend, sign Team Kenosha Today's Team Snowplow. If you need the logo, I have the Kenosha Today logo. Do you have my email address?
Oh, wait a minute. You're serious?
What kind
I'm serious.
What kind of uniforms?
I'll give you the Kenosha Today logo.
I can steal it right off your Facebook page as it is.
Okay, well, let's do that.
There you
then.
go.
But Team Snowplow and have people sign up. I'm serious.
Do you think I want the likes of number 17 and number 4 and the former number 8
Well,
coming
you don't
after
think
me?
they're going to sign up? Paulie, you've been given an assignment. Follow through.
It would be like a tribute to Alderman Snowflake.
You know what I thought was sort of cute this week is they had a new lady doing the news in the morning.
Bagdala.
No, it's Bagdala. Bagdala. Bagdala, like Mary Magdalene. Oh, it's Bagdalene. Bagdala. It was cute.
They were there was a newscast that was mispronouncing his name, and every time I heard it, I chuckled.
I did chuckle. I was chuckling at the same time.
Now, Paulie, don't drop the ball. Don't disappoint us now. I'm serious about you put together
right now. I'm very, like you were playing the thing. You wouldn't like me when I'm upset. I'm sort of upset right now because I'm in communication. I missed the first part of your show because I was on the phone with Apple because my laptop is acting silly and.
No, yeah, you've got a pretty big laptop.
Don't let it lap.
My shawl can cover it.
You're Afghan, you mean?
Afghan, that's it.
Well, you and I get the same disease. It's that Dunlap disease.
Dunlap disease, right?
So, Paulie, get on with it now that you got your laptop issues resolved, and set us up with the Kenosha Today's Team Snowplow, and have people sign up. And let us know during midweek. I bet you we get at least 100.
Now, I got to tell you, Paul, we've been criticized on the show here for, kind of beating a dead horse in regards to snow plowing and things like that. But you know what? You can't write a better script. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, how can we not talk about it when they continue to pull bonehead moves?
Ron and I spent hours at the boathouse in production meetings, and here this comes out.
You can't make this stuff up.
All right, Paulie, I got another call to take, and I want you to.
I'll get right on that.
I'm serious now. Don't disappoint me. Okay.
All right.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Good morning. I think there's a bigger problem on the north side
Okay.
that you're not aware of.
What is that?
Well, down 24th Street from 30th Avenue going east on a narrow street, we have 18-wheeler trucks coming.
Yeah, you know what? I heard you talking about that about a week ago on the radio. Where are they going, Marilyn?
I couldn't. By the time I jumped in my car, I couldn't find them. I don't know what alley.
Those trucks aren't allowed on that small street, right?
Yeah, I
know. We live in a Howgard area here, and when we bought the property, that was one of the stipulations about fences, about traffic, and all the above. I called 3 aldermen to kind of solve the problem. And they said they had to have a study on it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I said, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. All you got to do is put a sign up on 30th Avenue and 24th Street stating no trucks or 18-wheelers.
Yeah, would they be going to the CVS? Do they make deliveries to... Because
I'm guessing maybe Zizzle or maybe the dollar store.
Well, all you'd have to do, Marilyn, is park in front of your house. If I was the alderman of the district, that's what I would do. I would park and wait, and when one of the trucks follow.
Yeah, he did. He said, "Yeah, there goes the orange one."
Well, at least you know. Yeah. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Well, you know what?
Think so.
I may deal with it. I may deal with it for you.
We'll get.
You know what? When we had the 2-inch snowfall, at least 4 18-wheelers went down. Now, they could have put a plow on their truck or the broom and clean the streets.
Marilyn, you're on the team. You're on the team. We got you down.
Yeah, put me down for shoveling.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Boy, this is a hot topic, Steve.
Well, it's a hot topic.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today. Pete, good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Hello?
I guess
doctor in. Hello. Nope, that's it.
That's it. Well, okay.
You know,
it is what it
going
is.
back to her point. Now, 30th Avenue, you could drive a 18-wheeler down.
Sure.
But not 24th Street. That's a residential road.
Well,
There's no
there
trucks allowed in
supposedly are some policies in place in regards to truck traffic, but it would be pretty simple to find out where they were going. You just follow them to the business, and you approach the business and say, look, when you receive deliveries, instead of your trucks coming down 24th Street, can you just instruct them to either come down 18th or Washington Road? A pretty
30th
simple
and
thing.
24th. This has got to be up
30th by St. Peter's.
Yeah, okay.
That sounds like a GPS issue. Like the truck driver puts in the address, and that's just the quickest way they.
Yeah, but
and they're just following.
Taking a
that.
18-wheeler down a residential street like 24th Street.
Yeah, you don't want 18-wheel trucks in residential neighborhoods.
No, my
you know.
God. But there is a policy.
Couple that with the blizzard of.
But I like her description. You had the alderman went out there. There's the truck. It's orange. Now, the guy's probably overqualified to be an alderman.
No, I'm not gonna pick on the alderman of that district.
Well, if that's all you're going to do, we are.
He's one of the good guys.
Well,
or at least he was until
he's
Monday.
a little
We'll have
colorblind,
to see, yeah.
Good morning, you're on Kenosha Today.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that isn't a bad GPS deal, because those trucks are probably trying to get over to that salt company there at the old
Coos
company there. Yeah.
Oh, that could be. So it's an isolated case, right?
I would think so, but she had a good idea about them putting the plows on those things going through. But that's just my personal feeling on it. And you can drive a semi on a residential non-trucking road if you have a delivery.
Oh.
For that address, like a residential delivery, which I get a few.
What do they deliver to your house, or don't we want to know?
I think he meant he's the deliverer.
When I have a sale someday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? That you bring up a good point, and that proves a point that little Stevie and I don't have all the answers. And that's why we rely on you, our listeners, to call us in.
Who doesn't have all the answers?
Well, little Stevie and I. Did I? But Dale, you're the guy.
But I'm just saying that you have to have an actual bill lading, showing, because if you got pulled over by a cop and they're asking you why you're there, you have to produce that document showing that you're there to make a delivery in that area.
There you go.
So,
you're the guy.
All right, you guys, take care.
Not only are these guys good workers, we got some
brains. They're informative.
We are not idiots here.
We are not idiots.
You don't when that clip that they played at the city council meeting, when there was that exchange that sounded like this.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
See, that doesn't happen here. We are much too smart for that.
Well, and I guess I like most of the aldermen down at City Hall, but I don't understand why the council president, Alderman Prozansky, let it deteriorate to that point. I mean, all through Alderman Kennedy's comments, Alderman Bostrom was ridiculing him and talking back to him. He
was out of order.
He was completely out of order. Should have been ruled out of order, and if he continued, should have been asked to leave. I mean, the mayor or the acting mayor has that ability to do that.
Hey, does the mayor have the ability to veto this thing? Does the mayor have the ability to veto anything, let alone this one?
Well, this was a policy change. I'm not sure whether he has the ability to veto a policy. I don't recall that. He can veto, or he can not sign an ordinance, refuse to sign an ordinance.
This was an ordinance?
No, I believe this was just a policy change. I don't know if it was an ordinance or not.
Well, when you when you make it sound like 2 inches and you're going to get a ticket and it's now a thing, that sounds like a policy.
Well, and
an ordinance.
In theory, you look at it and say, oh, well, the city wants to remove all the snow at 2 inches. That's a wonderful thing. But the implications are this. Alderman Snowflake, the sponsor of the ordinance, the sponsor of the change, wants to take it to make a snow emergency at 2 inches and not 4 inches, which means nobody parks on streets every time it snows 2 inches. That means you're going to have to find another place to park your car.
Come to the snowflake, dressed in snow white gown. Tap, tap, tapping on your window pane.
Oh, somebody brought their A game today.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a long week. This is release for me. You know that?
Susie Snowflake.
Well, you said some guys went to the other side. Well, we don't know how far.
Oh my goodness.
That's the tapping.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Last sponsor is Uncle Scotty Barter. Welcome to the February 6th edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report.
You all right
the first hour took it out of me.
You all right, Cowboy?
Coming to you live from Studio A here at WLIP AM 1050 on your radio dial. Being brought to you by our major sponsor, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, and a host of many other very fine local businesses. Taking serious journalism to an all-time high, reporting on local stories, state stories, and spanning the globe. Basically, keeping it real and kind of making up stuff as we go along.
We are serious journalists.
But you can't make up, Stevie. Send in the plows. With that torrid 2-inch snowfall that we had the other day.
I understand.
The plows.
I understand that there's a
yellow,
chance that
shiny plows. Okay,
the Super Bowl may be canceled tomorrow. It's going to dip into the 50s
down in
San Francisco. If it gets colder than 60 degrees, we'd probably have Alderman Snowflake
in the
wanting to postpone the
driveway.
Very calm and collected little Stevie.
Snow plows keep falling on my head.
Let's try to have some resemblance.
But that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Snow plowing's for me, 'cause you'll never stop.
And you don't know any more words.
Never stop the snow by complaining.
You're almost there. It ought to be a crime, Scott, for two guys to show up on a Saturday morning and just chew the fat like this and have some fun.
Four guys. That's why he brings in all the donuts, chew the fat. Hey, don't forget, there's four. Let's not both take the brunt of this.
Well, we're all in very stressful situations. This is like my release on a Saturday morning. I deal with a lot of different situations Monday through Friday, and I take what I do very seriously. But I love coming here on Saturday morning and just letting her rip.
Pete, too. He works here Monday through Friday.
That's true.
And not only that.
I enjoy the lack of structure on this show.
Structure? What the hell's that structure? Oh, for heaven's sake.
For if you just joined us, we have been referring to the new city council policy that now makes 2 inches of snow just a disaster here.
Well, you can call in and talk about the Super Bowl, things like that.
Yeah, 262-694-1050.
I got to tell you, Carolina's going to win the game, but I'm pulling for Denver. I like Peyton Manning.
I think you think going to winner, yeah.
Well, Denver's got the number one rated defense in the league, so they may give Cam Newton a run for his money.
Well, if this doesn't work out, there's always ESPN.
Got Steve Aikman over there filling us in.
He could be one of those news bunnies. So, Coach, you're getting beat 38-0 at halftime. What are you going to tell your team?
Try not to suck so much.
Well, we're going to stick to the game plan. We're going to execute a little better, and we're going to try to put some points up on the board.
Start kneeling on first down.
You could.
It's 2 one-quarter games left, boys. Yeah.
Let's punt on first down.
I always said if I had to do it again, I'd be a PR guy, and I teach these athletes because they all say the same thing. You threw 7 interceptions in this game. I just wasn't seeing the whole field. I was, we had a couple of blown coverages, and my receivers weren't running their routes, and but we're going to try better next time, and we'll see if we can throw some points up on the board.
You've watched entirely too much TV.
Jeez.
So have I.
And anyway, we were in the formation of our Kenosha Space Team Snowplow, and Paul Vignoni is going to be getting us up on Facebook.
And Dale is going to be, Dale and I are assembling the emergency kits.
He's foreman and you're chairman,
That's
and
exactly
Paul's in charge of PR.
But, good thing we don't beat a dead horse.
Well, when the dead horse comes back to life, you got to beat it again.
Yeah, you know what? You really can't. You can't ask for better copy. You can't make this stuff up.
Like I said, Ron and I spent, he only comes to about 3 out of my 5 production meetings from Monday through Friday.
But You've never invited me.
Just show up.
You've never invited me to a production meeting.
It was lost in the same invitation that, anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Now, what was I talking? Oh, see, I'm sitting there for a couple hours in the afternoon thinking, what are we going to talk about on Saturday morning? And then these guys come up, and you're right, they're our production. We don't even pay them.
They do a whole article. on page 3 of the altercation between Alderman Bostrom and Alderman Kennedy, and I think it was just a complete lack of quorum, a lack of a decorum.
Well, lucky we caught it, because for those that
idiot.
Yeah, but for those that, see, this is right out of the city council. Pete got this right off the web.
As I said before, Anthony Kennedy is a lot of things, but he's not an idiot.
No.
He's a chicken sandwich thief, but that's a whole other story.
Hey, let's change the subs a little bit.
That's twice I've mentioned that.
Yes, I know.
For heaven's sake.
For heaven's sakes.
You know, Tuesday was Groundhog's Day, and Puxatawny Phil did not see his shadow.
I saw it live on Fox News.
A crowd gathered at Gobbler's Knob. And
come again?
It was,
excuse me?
It's in Pennsylvania, you schmuck. Gobbler's Knob, right here. Think I'm making this stuff up here?
I think he's running for alderman in the 8th. Isn't he running for alderman?
Oh,
well,
boy.
let's see if he sees his shadow. You know, they have They have
4 more years of bologna sausage, right? If you see,
I set this up enough.
You know what? Let's just go to commercial break.
This is written in our home office on the deck of the Boathouse Pub and this morning's top 10 thought-provoking category. The top 10 highlights of Groundhog's Day here in Kenosha, called Pothole Pete. Number 10, Puxatawny Phil being hired as a new snowplow driver. Number 9, approval of a new low-income free varmint tunnel complex. Number 8, PETA allowing the free pickup of all the roadkill. Number 7, the Republican debate was hosted on Channel 14 by Buddy the Squirrel. Number 6, the crowd gathered at the Long Island Knob. Number 5, we found Trump's hairpiece hibernating in a Kenosha pothole. Number 4, Mayor Bosman saw a shadow, which meant 6 more weeks of winter for the Heritage House. Number 3, the new big box store on the Chrysler site called Bushy Tail Bath and Beyond. Number 2, a new Boathouse appetizer.
That was kind of funny.
Batter dip rodent on a stick. And the number 1 highlight of Pothole Pete's Groundhog's Day here in Kenosha, idiot alderman hiding in the trolley barn after 2 inches of snow was predicted. Boy, I love all this high-tech music. I must have read a little faster today. I was nervous.
We'll give you a word minimum for next one.
I had a conversation with a political insider this week. He's not in office. He never has been in office, but he knows a lot about Kenosha politics. Okay. And he called me up and said, "Steve, this is what I think's happening down at City Hall."
Okay.
I says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, there's going to be a new sheriff in town." Okay, there's no
one
question.
Way or another, either
one way or another, either Bob Johnson or John Anaramian, and many on the council believe it's going to be John Anaramian, that he's going to win the election, whether he does or not. But the new sheriff in town clearly is forming his posse, and the posse is the likes of Alderman Bogdala and G. John Ruffalo. So some of these aldermen are seeing that and are saying to themselves, you know what, we got to side with the new team. We got to rally with the new team, and that's what this insider said to me. But that's what's happening.
I wouldn't rally too quick because I still think Bob Johnson has got a message out there, and that common sense group of 6,200 people that didn't get their voices heard a year ago when they wanted to go for the trolley to a referendum, and some of those aldermen voted against that.
Well, and that may be the case, but I think I would hate to, and like I said, and I'm working with 2 or 3 different candidates in this election, giving them advice, and my only criteria is that be independent. I even had a conversation with an alderman this week. I said, I think you made a mistake on the vote. You voted this way, and you should have voted that way. Well, that's all right, Steve. You and I can disagree, but we can still be friends, and we can have our differences of opinion. But just be independent. Don't take your leadership from the Fabulous Five. Yeah. Don't take your leadership from me, and certainly don't take your leadership from whoever is sitting in the mayor's chair.
Take it from your constituents.
Be independent. And I talked about this week with an alderman. Here's a good example. Ron Fredericks, the alderman of the 11th District for 10 years. He and I were about as diametrically opposed politically as we could be. But never in a billion years would I have ever thought to call him an idiot on the council floor, or likewise him calling me an idiot. We agreed to disagree. Same with Chuck Bradley. And you understand that I sat across the aisle from the likes of Ray Meisner for 6 years, and how often I wanted to call him an idiot, but I never did. There's just a certain. Oh, did I say that out loud? Was that my
question
outside voice? I'm sorry.
What was holding you back?
I'm sorry. But the point is, and I know I'm only 54 years old, but I'm already talking about the good old days of the 90s, where you had guys like Ron Fredericks, Everett Butler, and you knew where they stood, and that was okay. They could disagree with you, but you still had a respect for them. Ron Fredericks and I are good friends. We've worked together on a variety of different issues, but we are about as diametrically opposed politically as you can. But you have to have some level of decorum. You have to have some level of civility. And this group of guys down there just don't display that.
Not all, but a select few.
Well, I tell you what, and like I said, the whole thing is, and then we come in here on a Saturday morning and wonder what we're going to talk about. For heaven's sakes, all you got to do is pick up the paper and listen to some of the ranting back and ranting. Is that even a word? The rant and raving down there, and we got material for the next year and a half.
I'm holding you personally responsible because you gave him the new code to get in here. This is your fault. This is all your fault.
Did you hear that? Oh, that's beautiful. Right, I'm driving out and I know that there's a new code on the front door for a variety of reasons, and I said, I missed the email. Son of a gun! What's the new code? So I called Ron. I said, Captain Ron, this is Steve. What's the new code? I'm afraid I can't give you that.
He had it written on the inside of his underwear.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put it on my hand. I'm going to write it on my hand.
So what's the next thing? He comes in, and as you were walking in, he's probably left his headphones or his.
I left my headphones here last time. Yeah,
well, I owe you 20, Ron.
What?
Oh, we had a bet.
What was the bet?
You never come prepared. It was probably in your motorcycle.
No. I left them here. I think these are them.
You think these are them?
I
you got a left ear and a right ear.
I get out of bed on a Saturday morning. I say I got to go to the radio station. My wife says, "What are you going to talk about?" I don't know until I get there. Although this week I knew what we were going to talk about, and it was going to be Alderman Snowflake. I love that. That's going to stick. I'm going to make that stick.
She sent me an email. I'll wait for it.
Dale, you're a genius. Dale, you're a frickin' genius.
262-694-1050.
This is very mellow too. This is good for Steve.
It calms me down. Hi, Mr. Barter. Is that a new sweater? You look very nice today.
Anyway, your wife tells me that from Tuesday morning, when it's hit the paper about this ordinance change, you were practicing in front of the mirror, just yelling and screaming, and watching your vein. And she'd come down, put some ice packs on you, calm down, baby, for a whole week.
I didn't watch the meeting because I've got I think we've got AT&T U-verse now. We don't get the cable access.
You didn't miss any. I saw the entire thing. Well, okay, because
could you hear Bostrom calling Kennedy an idiot?
No, because if we could, we would be playing that over and over again today. In all honesty, but I sat through that, and all I wanted to do was go to bed because I had to be up at 4 o'clock the next morning.
But you couldn't.
Yeah, we'd like to make another resolution. Oh, come on.
Good morning on Kenosha today.
Yes, this is Mike Bjorn. Now for some good news. Okay. Some ambiance has returned to Kenosha, and as usual, any community can use all the ambiance they can get.
What's
and
this?
Scott, of course, I'm referring to, on Thursday, we went to the yacht club. The yacht club is open again. It's not serving food, but if that's not the best view in Kenosha of Lake Michigan, I don't know what is.
I'd appreciate it if they decided to be a sponsor.
Well, maybe they will, because I'm hearing that finally they're going to keep the name of the place, the Yacht Club.
Mike, you and I have talked about this for years. Everybody knows where the Kenosha Yacht Club is.
Meet me at the Yacht Club, and as usual, we have to say it again. You don't have to be a member; it's open to the public, and they've been saying that for 25 years. But it's amazing.
Now, just real quick, Mike, isn't the same operator that's in there now? Doesn't he have a restaurant in Racine?
No.
I know the operator is from Racine, but I'm not sure if she has a restaurant in Racine. Scott, would you know?
These were just bartenders. They're just open for a little bit. They don't have anything going on there. And by the way, it's going to lead me into my major sponsor, the Boathouse, so thanks for bringing it up.
Well, the fun thing is, we were suggesting that the Boathouse should have a menu over there.
No, Mike, what would you want to do that for? Just hear me out.
Because the bartender wants to keep the customer at the Yacht Club bar. And if they're hungry, you call the Boathouse for a pizza.
First of all, now hear me out now. This is just another point of view. the yacht club is a major competitor of the boathouse. Now, why would I want to supply them with food? If you want a hamburger or pizza, you come back to the boathouse.
Scott, all I can tell you is the best thing that happened to my business in the last 10 years is when Louis Fiedel brought crystals down here. It's like McDonald's, Big Star, blah, 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 thing where the more businesses, the better, man.
Well, I would worry about, I would let the yacht club, who hasn't put in a operator there in 8 years that could stay any length of time, that's their problem. I love the guys dearly.
Well, you know what they ought to do? You know what they ought to do? They ought to turn the whole operation.
Go ahead,
If they want to see more of the harbor, that's the place to see it. If you want some good food and see the small boat harbor, you go to the boathouse. But there's room for both, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I think you ought to turn the operation of the yacht club over to Jim Matzer and put a boathouse
he's been approached through the years, and basically he says thanks, but no thanks.
That's right. There was a time when that might have been, but when you get to this point, why do you want to fool around with that? They've been closed for 5 months. That's one less. If in the summertime, if you take something from the boathouse and it goes to the yacht club or Kaiser's or whoever else, that's one less thing that goes to our major sponsor, by the way.
Well, I know Jim Matcher's glad they're open again, and Jim is a customer there as well because he knows so many of the members. And was it Wednesday through Sunday, I believe?
Thursday. Just
Thursday through Sunday?
For just a limited time, just for their bar open, but there's nothing going on. So, we'll have to see how that goes.
Just thought I'd bring up something about Kenosha Commerce instead of snowstorms.
Okay, thanks. I have to. You got a letter.
I got a letter from their attorney. Cease and desist. We did name these 5 jelly beans after current aldermen, and they've got it's a box. Fabulous 5 jelly beans from Jelly Belly.
I think you were the one that came on. And we showed the Gluegate clip.
Oh yeah.
And that's we're gonna show a portion of that. Remember from the cameras from the.
Sir, I do not recall.
Really, what portion of the clip are you gonna play? Are you gonna play the matching clip from the committee meeting that night?
Yeah. We actually, I
think you got to play both.
What I did to make the case. I got it from, and I did make my case. I got it from City Hall under the Freedom of Information Act, showing. Like you said, it looks like an alderman in a black sedan, who I haven't seen that, who apparently could go drove over the sidewalk after they went into the City Hall with their code to get their packet, parked, and then the next clip is the individual coming right into the Public Works meeting.
I'm sorry, sir, I do not recall that.
Well, you will. Don't remember?
Donut Dave and his wife, it was either last weekend or the weekend before.
It was the weekend before. He told me about it. He says he called you and you had just taken your wife to the airport or something.
No.
And you were coming home and crying that I'm alone tonight.
In the fetal position.
In the fetal position with drool on his chin.
No, my wife had to go to Washington, D.C. for a meeting. And,
didn't I just
say
that?
On the way home, I called Donut Dave and I said, where are you guys going for dinner? Yeah. And we did meet at Gerhard's, and it was one of the few times the bar bill actually exceeded the food bill.
That's just
what other time might have that been the other way? You can't even remember that.
Well, I go to Gerhard's. I eat. I don't necessarily drink. I eat. The food is good. Food is damn good.
Well, they got.
I had the prime rib.
It's a little different dining than the Boathouse, but I do agree that.
But it's locally owned, and it's a small family.
All sponsors are locally
owned. And nothing against the Red Robins or the chain restaurants. Nothing against those. But Kenosha's got some of the finest tavern food in anywhere that I've been. You want to get a great hamburger. Go to any one of these places. Sunnyside Club, the Boathouse.
They're all a little different. They have their little
right, but they're not cookie cutter.
No, right.
That's what I don't like. I don't like the cookie cutter. I guess if you're traveling and you want to have a decent meal, you go to the Olive Garden because you know it's going to be the same every single time. But if you want local flavor, you get into the neighborhoods a little bit and say, where would you go for a good hamburger? And they point you down the street to a bar.
And I will agree with Mike Bjorn that the Yacht Club has the best view of that harbor, bar none. Yes, the Boathouse has a nice deck and it overlooks a nice small boat harbor, but when all those lights are on at Harbor Park, it is gorgeous at night. So I guess it kind of goes to my my point
I don't understand, yeah.
8 years, they've had 5 different operators.
How can you not make a living there?
Well,
someone's doing something wrong, and I understand in the off season.
Overcharging in some of those things.
I understand in the off season, there's not a whole lot of activity down by the lake, but it's still a beautiful view.
Exactly.
Whether it's summertime or not.
I wish those guys well, and they're all very good people, and but you don't have to. Maybe part of the problem was identity because they always called it, I don't know, the Blue Lagoon or something other than what it is. The yacht club.
And Mike Bjorn and I used to talk about this for years. They need to call it the Kenosha Yacht Club.
Yeah,
everybody knows where the Kenosha Yacht Club is,
and so people know the city.
They don't know where the Blue Goose is.
That's a barter manor. that's another menu altogether.
Let's meet at the Blue Goose Bar and Tavern.
We're specializing in 4-ounce fillets over there, by the way.
For Valentine's Day.
For Valentine's Day, and have plenty left over for breakfast. But let me finish my thought here. Then, what was my thought? The city of Kenosha owns the land and the building, and the yacht club leases that, and the yacht club then in turn leases the bar and restaurant to whomever they can,
Right.
And
right.
So I wish them well because it is a gorgeous
so there's
place.
not an operator in there now. So who's running the bar?
What they did was they brought some licensed bartenders in there. I don't know if they're called
And
operators.
they just open, and I
Just the
think
bar.
they
Just the bar.
Yeah, and I think they have to be open a
So
certain
many
amount
days
of
to keep
time
their
every
liquor
90
license.
days to keep their
And
liquor
after
license.
the old operator closed in October, the yacht club then went and got the liquor license in their name.
Okay.
So that's encouraging. And
You sure know a lot about liquor and booze and drinking.
I'm just not a pretty face here, I know stuff. Let me read these last 2 sponsors. Taking the turn and heading down the home stretch. If you just joined us, this is the February 6th edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here and streaming worldwide here on WLIP AM 1050. Being brought to you this morning by our major sponsor, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, and a host of other very fine local businesses. Also joining us, our video coordinator, Captain Ron, and of course, Steve Harvey's go-to guy, our engineer, Pistol Pete, who's brought his A game to the table. I'll tell you, if I was giving him a grade, I'd give him an A+ today. He just...
Gee, thanks.
Keep up the hard work, Pete.
No problem.
And lots of it.
Nah.
We are here each and every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to noon. And if you happen to miss this show on Saturday, you can tune in to WLIP tomorrow, Sunday at noon, and listen to the replay of this morning's broadcast.
That's kind of scary. That make you want to stay in your house and lock your doors.
There was kind of a snafu last week, and thank God Pete was with us, and we corrected that, right?
A snafu?
Well, it was supposed to play at noon, and because there was a elimination of a show last week, and there was a snafu, and
I got my dates mixed up on when the schedule was changing on Sunday.
So Ronnie and I went from our production meeting on Sunday afternoon at Our Lady of the Long Islands, by the way. And so Pete happened to be dining at the Boathouse in the other room. And I kindly asked him why this other very fine...
Mind you, this was his third trip to my table.
I wasn't getting very many tips, so I said,
I'm not getting the second Bloody Mary, apparently. I have to go to work now.
So,
he was going to drink with us.
He found other older people. He says, I just want to take a... What was that?
I said that. I'm not afraid to hang with people who are 40 years older than me.
So,
he's like, why did it even stop?
So, come to turn out, what was playing between 12 and 1 was Lip Off.
Whoops.
And we were supposed to be playing.
It was supposed to air 11 to 12, and then some other stuff wasn't over yet, so, yeah. Sorry. Whoops.
Now, that was an innocent...
Well, but you don't listen to the replay, do you?
No, but the guy that was on here Saturday was with his whole family, tuning in.
I see.
And all these people and all their supporters for trying to fundraise.
And it was us making fun of Shirley on Lip Off.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. A little snafu. That's okay, though. But that happens.
Right.
But you don't change the policy because of one snafu.
No. In fact, we just fixed it and owned up to it. Yeah. And that's it.
Really, that sounds like the mature and the adult thing to do.
You idiot! Yeah.
We find Pete 10 grand, and now he's Mr. Snowflake over there. And, no hard feelings on our part.
I just don't. I don't.
262-694-1050. Let's see.
We want to talk Super Bowl. Call in with that.
I also got we did mention that next week is Valentine's weekend, and these guys are very good. The New Image Chorus, and you can call these four wonderful guys at 262-697-0244, and they'll come out and sing 2 songs. I've had them on the TV show, and they give you a card for your sweetheart, a red rose, and they take a 4x6 frame photo.
Yep, they certainly will. We had them a couple years ago. They visited my wife and I and a couple other couples at the beautiful house of Gerhard's.
So was the 4x6, was that a photo of just you in it? Or did you include your wife in it?
Mr. Casey, you're not that fat. Scott Barter makes it sound like you're fat. You're not that fat.
I'm not bringing up the Dunlap and all this other stuff. You bring this stuff.
Well, you know,
boombox or do they
a lot of people have that Dunlap disease. Other people have that no acetol.
Yeah. Delivery's going to be made.
That's a disease.
I have the latter one, by the way. It's a serious problem.
You got the disease no acetol because you got the Dunlap disease.
That's correct. It's one or the other, yeah.
You guys done with your medical degrees?
Almost.
They're going to start February 12th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday. February 13th, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And Sunday, February 14th, noon to 8 p.m. And again, the number is 262-697-0244. These are great guys. And they contribute.
Oh, very talented. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
They're
very reasonably priced as well.
Well, they start at 40 and they can, they're probably about your age, Stevie.
Well, I'm pretty excited. I got my, I told you I got my golden birthday coming up. In fact, I think I'll be on the air here on my birthday. You going to sing me?
When is
sing
that?
me a song?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's the same month as Bill Lawrence. It's this month.
Okay.
Bill Lawrence celebrated his birthday, but I've got my golden birthday coming up. My waist size will now match my age.
Well, yours, boy, that's not even a laugh track, is it?
No. We're gonna grab it and use it as a laugh track.
What we can do for you, Steve,
that's a large man's golden birthday when your waist size matches your age.
Now, to make sure that you
I
get
think
here,
that is funnier than hell.
you'll have to get up at 4 o'clock and listen to the Kenosha Today weather report.
Oh, goodness
and
gracious!
just to make sure you get here, here's the Kenosha Today weather report.
Oh, where is the Kenosha Today
Pete?
weather report? Well, I wasn't ready for
Okay,
this.
well, just
Come on, you already gave me an A. I'm kicking back now. Are you kidding me? All right, here we go.
Have your canned foods ready. Have your extra batteries and crank up radio ready. And crank up flashlights ready. Have your iPods, iPads charged and everything. People in Wisconsin, order your pizzas, order your Chinese food. Don't wait till last minute.
That's almost a boathouse ad. Unsolicited. Hey, before I forget, here, why don't you read this, Spencer, here.
We get another spot.
Team Snowplow up on yet?
No, apparently an alderman didn't like what one of us said.
Well, which one of us did something? Might have be something you said, right? What'd you say? Well, go ahead.
I'll deal with it later.
We'll deal with it now.
We got 20 minutes. Come on, we got to do something here.
Okay, your choice is this. You got two. You can talk about what you just got in a text, or you can tell us your big day coming up Tuesday, which is, what does that say? Fat Tuesday? Oh, Fat Saturday's coming up. That's next week.
Yes.
Fat Saturday.
Well, and we can talking about
what is one doing
about
Fat Saturday?
Lent and that. We've got Father Bill coming in.
Oh, okay.
I believe on the 20th, February 20th, in the second hour, he's going to talk, and I think he's bringing in Pastor Tim from First United Methodist Church, and they're going to talk a little bit about this guest speaker they're bringing into
Catholic
town.
and a Protestant?
Yeah, absolutely. Methodist. Yeah, they work.
We're mending fences all the way around here, plowing streets.
Peter, we're going to have to spend some time putting some.
I feel the Christian unity. Hallelujah.
So
another interesting text. Boy, we are lighting up the phones today.
You notice my phone's got nothing on it. So
my phone was ringing off the hook this week.
So, by the way,
I'm sure it's going to be ringing all weekend too.
When is what's Fat Tuesday? Is that this Tuesday?
That's this Tuesday.
Okay,
it's the day before. It's the day before Lent. Yeah,
okay.
Fat Tuesday. Yeah.
And Lent is.
That's the day that Casey's supposed to come and make us burgers at the station.
You know what? I think that's when I came.
Fat Guy Tuesday.
Fat Guy Tuesday.
was the thing.
Is when I came and made.
And Bill was off that day as well.
Bill was off that day, and we made heaven on a bun in the parking lot for Lenny and the entire staff. And Dick Rudin from Gerhard's helped me make heaven on a bun.
Did you wash your hands that day?
I washed. Listen, being in the business that I'm in, I without exaggerating, I think I wash my hands a dozen times a day.
Boy, you got to share this with us. This is about the fourth time in the last 5 minutes that your phone has gone off. Can't you share this with us? What do you got to hide, Casey? Stevie, come on, share.
Oh, just an alderman texting me.
Well, sure. He's a public official.
Is he claiming not to be on the dark side? Can I take a guess at this?
He's looking forward to
beating the hell out of you.
expounding on the snow policy manual.
Okay,
with me.
well, it's about time. Yeah. You know, if tell this alderman, I won't say his name if you don't want me, but call in and expound here and share with all our listeners.
I would welcome a phone call from any alderman who supported the snow removal change.
Supported the removal?
No, supported the change. Yeah, we had Kurt Wicklund who voted against it. There were 5 guys who voted against this nonsense political stuff.
So we got 11 of them that we're looking
we had Bob Johnson, of course, Jack Rose, who is truly the sound of common sense on the council. We had Keith Rosenberg. We had Anthony Kennedy, who was called an idiot for his position. And then we've got Kurt Wicklund, Keith Rosenberg, Anthony Kennedy, Bob Johnson, and Jack Rose. Yeah.
And then Giuliani took some heat from George because, Giuliani wasn't there. So.
I don't think he was there, was he?
No, he was the only one missing.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to pay. You got to show up. Now, if this poses another interesting question.
No, you don't need to show up at meetings for heaven's sake.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. So if you had an issue like this, you would have showed up, right?
For an issue like this, yes. Anything else? A lot of times I stayed home. I'll be honest with you.
Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Good morning.
Good morning. Who's this?
This is Victor calling in.
Okay, Victor, go ahead.
Hey, I want to applaud you guys for pushing this snow issue thing here.
Thank you.
Due to the fact that living out in the county out here in beautiful Summers, Wisconsin,
oh God,
we got to rely on the county. And seeing that the city now wants to push the 2-inch limit, I saw more trucks out plowing dry roads on the other morning, sparks flying,
sparks flying
down.
That's exactly.
Than I saw on the last snowstorm when we got 6 inches.
Maybe this is a new thing, Victor, that when the sparks fly, it'll melt the sno and the ice.
Maybe
it's a new
that's
thing.
it.
You know, and Summers, well, you guys got a lock on a whole lot of everything going out there. I mean, I wouldn't want to see you guys got a corner on stupidity on some of your guys, but you got King George operating out there, right?
Oh, yes. King George and the rest of his crown court that,
Hey, I thought Summers had its own snowplows. Am I wrong? Because I live in a subdivision west of 47th Avenue, that goes from...
but Summers has their own public works department.
Because I thought...
they do, but I live on a county highway, so I got to rely on the county to take care of our roads. And, of course, like I said, I saw more trucks out when we had that little bit of snowfall here on Friday morning or whatever it was than I saw the whole winter.
So we're going to have to list you on Team Snowplow.
You willing to serve on the volunteer committee?
Hey, I got a couple shovels. I got a snowblower. I work a little slow, seeing that I had back surgery and I'm not as mobile as I used to be, but I can, start a new auxiliary out here.
Listen, I'm gonna design the game plan around your needs and wishes, and we're gonna properly utilize it.
I gotta say, Victor, I don't know why you didn't think the plow should be out. I had to pull the sleeve over my hand to clean my car on Friday morning. I mean, that's serious business.
So, Victor, you're willing to put your health issues on the line here and help out your fellow citizens.
Well, I'm like I said, I want to applaud you guys for pushing this because it's going to help everybody.
Well,
not only the city, but the county and all the existing townships out here.
Absolutely, and certainly on behalf of Alderman Snowflake and all of his constituents, they thank you as well.
Wonderful. So you guys keep up the good work. And may your phone never stop ringing.
It hasn't.
It hasn't.
All right, guys,
thanks,
have a great
Victor.
weekend.
All right, here it goes. I'd be happy to talk to you about the snow policy if you have time. Just tuned in, so I've not heard anything you may have talked about regarding the snow policy.
Oh, we had hardly mentioned it.
We have a 44-page snow and ice manual that was not affected by this change. The change only affected Appendix J. Let's talk soon. You'll enjoy the conversation. So,
well, the whole thing was changed when you went from 4 to 2, and now it's.
I guess I need some. I guess I need some clarification on that as well. Here's an idea: if you're going to spend money on anything, fill the potholes.
Pete,
I've been trying to get 73rd Street repaved since 2008.
Chariots of fire. Chariots of fire.
I'm telling you, the roads were in atrocious shape, and we're plowing 2 inches worth of snowfall. That's ridiculous. People, use your heads. This is Wisconsin. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry I blew up there.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha today.
Hello.
Hello.
This snow policy really just makes me so angry.
Okay. What district do you live in?
I don't know.
Well, north, south, east, or west? We will,
I'm near the spot.
The spot. Okay.
Oh, you're in my neck of the woods.
Okay. All right. So go ahead.
Well, first of all, I think alternate side parking is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my entire life.
Ring the bell.
If we're going to have snow, let's do the alternate side thing. But if there's no snow, why do we got to keep moving our cars?
That's a very good question.
That's a very good question.
We're addressing, and it used to be 4 inches. I could maybe understand that, but not at 2.
Do you live in your own home, or do you live in an apartment?
I live in an upper flat.
An upper flat.
So where do you put your car?
Parking is at a premium, right?
I have to park at the curb, but quite honestly, there's plenty of room at the curb. But it's just the fact that now that I work from home, I don't even have to go outside during the day. Now I got to go move my damn car.
Well, right. we're working. We'll put you on Team Snowflake, because we're looking for volunteers and
Team Snowplow.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Snowflake.
That's the alderman. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
So if they're going to change the policy, then they should change it to include no alternate side parking unless there's a snow emergency.
Okay.
No, that's a valid point as well. That's some.
Do you know how much? You know how much the city makes in revenue on alternate side parking tickets? $415,000.
There are some cars. Every time I go by them, have a ticket under the thing.
So it's a
well,
big.
I have never gotten a ticket yet.
You will now.
Yeah, right. And one morning I woke up and I thought, oh my God, I parked on the wrong side. And I thought for sure there'd be a ticket. I must have a friend somewhere in town.
That's us. That's us.
Let me ask you a question. When there's a snow emergency, where do you usually park?
My the people that live downstairs are my landlords.
Mm-hmm.
Then they take one of their vehicles to the in-laws' house and pull mine in the driveway.
Oh, okay.
That's nice.
So that works. But coming from an older neighborhood, which is where you live in an older neighborhood, you understand that parking is at a premium. And what the sponsor of this change wanted to do is make a snow emergency at 2 inches, which is just going to be that much more inconvenient for anybody with parking issues.
Exactly, and and if it wasn't so convenient, with the people downstairs are wonderful. If it wasn't for that, I'd be screwed. I mean, I would really be screwed. I don't know where there would be no place to park.
Ma'am, I don't think you can say that on the
air. Anyway, sweetheart, we're working for you. We got you on Team Snowflake. Or Team Snowplow. That's the second time I did.
Thank you.
Team Snow. No, what is it? Team Snowplow. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but the guy from Summers was absolutely right. Snowplow's driving down the streets, and I'm looking at sparks.
Yeah.
With the plow down.
Well, it's a new philosophy, Stevie, because it'll melt. The sparks will melt the snow.
What snow?
Yeah. What snow? Let me read these two sponsors.
Good morning, gentlemen. Keith here. How we doing? Oh, you too, Scott.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
You asked for that.
Yes, I did.
All right. What's your take on all
Alderman Rosenberg, I appreciate your positive vote on Monday and using some common sense, but what's on your mind?
Oh, I'm just wondering if all of a sudden Wisconsin became Florida.
If what?
If Wisconsin became Florida.
Well,
there's no snow down there either.
Yeah. Hey, what are you going to do? You're sitting on this cache of dog urine for your district. Are you going to share that with some of your?
Because we've had such a mild winter.
Yeah.
We've been able to stockpile. For the big one, because we're going to have a big one before the year goes out.
Big one meaning 2.5 inches of snow, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Correct.
Yeah, if you guys are in a mood to spend any more money down there, why don't you fill some potholes?
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, the more time the plows are on the residential streets, the more they get tore up, and we don't have the money for the residential streets because the main ones need to get fixed first.
And even those that are fixed seem to be a little ripply at the times on 52nd Street. So.
Well, that's a state issue. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's in our street. It's in our city.
Well, I understand that. But again, the state screwed up on the contractor did. Yeah. And then that goes back to several years ago. A contractor was out here in my district and redid 87th Street from 34th Avenue to all the way to 39th Avenue. They milled the road and didn't take out the millings, and there was a huge hump in the road.
Well,
I hate when that happens.
When you get the old hump on the old road there. Well,
it's pretty bad when you're backing out of your car and your bumper's hitting the road.
Keith, keep up the good work. I got another call to take.
All right, you guys have a great day.
Okay, thanks.
The dogs out! Who let the dogs
One of these days we're going to take this serious. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Who is this?
Who's this?
This is Bob.
Okay, Bob.
Get ready.
You're not going to say anything goofy now, are you?
Pardon me?
You're not going to say anything that's going to get me in trouble, are you?
No, I'm going to say something that might get me in trouble. Steve knows who I am.
Okay.
Oh, Bob. Okay, certainly.
Yeah. Sure, go ahead, Bob.
Hey, Steven, how you feeling?
I'm feeling okay at this point.
Great. Okay, now the main reason I called. Do they realize how much money it costs to maintain a plow that's not pushing snow, but the blade's down?
Tell us.
Just the wear and tear on the cutting edge and suspension on the truck and...
Well, they will now that they're plowing.
Yeah, they're plowing
asphalt.
they're plowing asphalt for the most part. Right.
God, that's stupid. Them guys are stupid down there.
Well, they're idiots.
Oh,
but although I would never call them idiots in an open meeting,
but as opposed to live radio.
The trouble with them guys is they never sat in a plow truck.
Ah.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I actually did. I went out on a plow run back in about the mid 1990s. I rode around with a plow driver, and got a feel for that.
Back when I was in my early 20s, I was plowed in a truck, but I think that was a completely different issue.
That is none of our business.
My brown one.